gotta lower the mic for shrimps here. All right, well, I'm really pleased to be here. I'm assuming that my slides are just loaded right up after this. Just a quick word about the Institute. So the Institute for Research in the Social Sciences was formed a couple of years ago, and we are what is known on campus as a core facility, which is that our intention is to provide services and to improve the capacity of other folks on campus. Now, you all know that Extension is one of these hybrid things, that it's both part of the university and also doing work outside of the university. So we're really excited to have been working with Larimer County Extension for this project. I've been talking to the people in the community development PRU for the last few years. They have been telling me over and over again that they do not have enough resources inside the university. So we're hoping that this institute will provide a touch point and a place for county extension agents across the state to reach into the university and get help with community development questions and issues. And especially if you have data collection needs, that's something that all of my staff are specialists in doing. So really pleased to report on this first project. So this is my team. Oh my gosh, is it like, oh, that was weird. Something strange happened. Okay, well, their names are up there. In the room with me on the end down there and in the back of the room is Alyssa Stevens, who has been the project manager and really the lead of this community assessment process. As I said a minute ago, our mission is to really foster and to support social science research. When I finished my PhD, I wasn't too convinced whether I really wanted to be a professor, because a lot of professors just write stuff, and I get accolades if I write stuff that really doesn't matter. In fact, a faculty member in another department asked me once, he said, "Jen, when are you going to write that one article that only 3 other people in the world are able to understand?" And I said, never. Let me tell you about the article I wrote and published in the Journal of Professional School Counseling that middle school counselors are using. That's what I'm excited about. So you won't be surprised to know that every one of my degrees is from a land-grant school, either Colorado State University or the University of California at Davis. And I'm really personally committed to the land-grant mission. Larimer County is my home. It's where my family has lived since the 1860s. Yes, I am a graduate of the Larimer County 4-H program, so just feeling like an insider today. My mom said, she was a ranch kid, she said, "There will be no Girl Scouts, there will be 4-H." So, on a really personal level, I think this work that we do with and for communities, where we bring the knowledge and the expertise and the skills of the university to help our communities, that mission is something that's really important to me, and it's honestly the only reason I'm a faculty member. Otherwise, I would not have chosen to come back to the university to be a professor. So I built my center because I was tired and frustrated that I didn't feel like we were doing enough to really help people and to take social science into the world. So we really do hope to be here for you. We have a variety of services. We can build surveys for you. We can do focus groups. We can help you think better about what kind of data you want. So I think, I don't know if I put it, no I didn't. All right. If you go to our website, iriss.colostate.edu, and that tab on the left, there's a little drop-down bar that says Request Assistance, and there's just a thing there that says, "We'd like to request assistance." So we're really easy to find on the website. You can just drop down and tell us what your project is and what you think it might be, and we're happy to have someone talk to you about what kind of service would be the most helpful. Now I want to stop talking about us and talk about what we've been doing with Larimer County Extension since, I don't know, a year ago, yeah? The mission for Extension is to empower Coloradoans to address important and emerging community issues using dynamic, science-based educational resources. So Carrie came in and said, "Do we know what our community needs are? Do we know what the most pressing issues are in Larimer County? There's a lot of things that it might be. I really need some kind of tool and data and a filter to help me figure out what is the most important." And so that's the motivation. The motivation for all needs assessments is to answer the question, what are the gaps either in my knowledge or skills or capabilities in an organization to meet the needs that allow us to fulfill our mission. And so that's the point of a community needs assessment, is helping Larimer County really fulfill its mission by understanding better what the community needs are. So a needs assessment in general is trying to get a deeper understanding of three big things. What are the trends? What is happening right now that we can see as a building and a growing problem, or what things are changing and really shifting? Also, what are the pressing issues? There are dozens of issues. There are 5 dozen personal, passionate issues, but what really are the pressing issues for the county that an extension agency might actually have the capacity to tap into university resources and to really address? And then what are the gaps in the existing programs and services between the trends that the county is facing and the really pressing issues and what we're currently doing? So that's what we're hoping to discover. Needs assessments all have a pretty universal process, and as Carrie said, it is a process. You got to just go through it. Sometimes it feels like you're stuck in the mud. Other times you go one way and you don't see what you expect to see, but the basic steps of a process are kind of scoping what it is, thinking about what the criteria is that you're going to use to judge it, figuring out how you're going to collect data. We spent a lot of time thinking about the various data collection tools and what's the right order to really help us discover the best data for the county, and then collecting it. So we're right here at step 4. We're just about finished collecting the data. We've started the initial presentations back to the Larimer County Extension. We're going to do some more of that tomorrow, where we're going to start filtering and thinking about step 5, which is thinking about the criteria, prioritizing needs, and thinking about what are the trends and the needs in the community that are things that are a really good fit with Larimer County Extension expertise and skill and existing capacity. So when we started this by looking at trends, we took this to a community sociology class that I teach, engaged a whole group of students in looking at trends. And some of the big trends that popped out to us are how big the aging population is in our county and how big the mental health issue is. We know that the people working in the mental health field have been working on that for a while, so some stuff was surprising in the trends and some was really new. And then really trying to collect stories so that we understand those trends better, so that they're not just a bunch of statistics. The most important thing, though, is that we're filtering and analyzing with the extension agency and with the community. So one of the tools is doing a social survey, and we're really excited about the results that we got back from that survey, and it's only because we worked really hard in collaboration with Larimer County Extension to identify what are all the venues that we could get that survey out that would give us that response rate that would be meaningful and help us capture all of the trends. So these are the, if you're wondering what did we do, what's the data? We looked at existing documents to understand trends. We held focus groups. We did intercept interviews. The online survey analysis has just been completed. And then the final thing we'll be doing is a community forum that will be another thing in that final step of prioritizing and understanding and processing the data that we've already gotten. So just a couple things about what needs assessments are and aren't. They're not a survey of what people want. They're not just an evaluation of existing programs or a strategic plan. They're really about getting this big, high-level understanding and thinking about what's the direction that Larimer County Extension could go that allows it to fulfill its mission. And a good needs assessment is asking about what are the needs across the community for different groups, and how do we really help Extension leverage their strengths to address those. So that's the work that we're doing now, the processing and filtering and thinking about the data, is this merging between what did we see and how do we make decisions about that based on the strengths of Extension. So what will we discover? We don't really know. A couple of things that we want to celebrate so far is that we have seen some things we expected, and we have also seen some things that we did not expect. So a good process always provides new insights and nuggets that you had no idea were out there. We also are seeing connectivity between the trends that we looked at and what we're seeing in the survey. So those big demographic things that the students uncovered, we're seeing some matchups between that and the data. So the thing I'm most proud of at the moment is that through our collaboration with Larimer County Extension, we received 1,057 complete and valid responses to the survey. About half of them are people that have experience with extension, and about half are people that have never done anything with extension. So in thinking about what really are the needs and what are extension strengths, that really large sample helps us answer that question well, and most importantly, it helps us divide the sample up so that we can understand what does the aging population need, what does youth need, what do people who are struggling with poverty or affordable housing need. So we're not at the end of this process, we're about 3/4 of the way through, but already we've seen some new exciting things and are hoping to discover more. So Carrie will talk about other places for engagement and what to do next. Oh, I thought I made a slide. There's the way that if you want to reach out to us, that's where we are on the website.
Thank you, Jenny. And as we find our path forward for a focus and the greatest impact for Larimer County Extension, it makes me think of an old adage for all of our leadership out there. I'll just make a little plug. I think it's called funding follows focus. Has anybody heard of that one? Or maybe I'll make up a new one, investment follows impact. I don't know, it just got me thinking. I do want to say, some people are wondering if you should start eating your salads. Please go ahead and start eating. Don't hesitate. I know some tables couldn't wait. But yes, we are trying to pack a lot in and we don't want to keep you from eating, so please go ahead and eat.